Day 17 of the 1 year fast. Today I'm fasting for 24 hours. I'm about 21 hours into that 24-hour fast today. Again, the framework for the 1 year fast is for me to fast for 3 days per week for 52 consecutive weeks and do all the measurements across the board during that period of time. This is week 3, and this particular week I'm fasting Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday. So 3 separate 24-hour fasts. And we're in Tuesday. I think it's time to try the ketone reader again. So you will recall on Sunday, after about 22 hours, tried to take my ketones, showed 0 on the ketone reader. Again, basic breath-based ketone reader, about 4 years old. Probably not the best, but it's a ketone reader. So let's give it a go today too. Hopefully we get some numbers rather than 0. Okay, started. We got the countdown from 20 all the way to 0, gets to 0, there's a beep. Beep indicates to blow into the ketone reader. Second beep indicates to stop blowing, then you get your numbers. Fingers crossed. Okay, first beep. Second beep. And we got a reading of 26, which is actually quite surprising. So week 1 of the 1 year fast, I fasted for 72 hours, 3 days in a row. Took the ketone reading, we got 45. Week 2, I separated the fast. So I had a 48-hour fast, then a 24-hour fast. After the 48-hour fast, about hour 46, took the ketone readings, and they were less than that, they were 25. Then again tried on the 24-hour fast, showed 0, and this week on the Sunday, after 24 hours, well, about 22 hours, showed 0, and today, after about 21 hours, showing 26, which is quite interesting. Again, this is a pretty basic ketone reader, so I'm sure it's prone to error. I've actually ordered an upgrade, so hopefully that'll arrive by Thursday when I do my next 24-hour fast. And maybe we get some different numbers. Okay, so yeah, week 3, day 17, feeling really good. Yesterday I felt tired. It was an eating day and I felt really tired. Today I'm actually feeling more energized. Definitely kind of driven to maybe do some workout later today, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So I am conducting the fast, the 1 year fast, as a vegetarian. I must confess, the world's worst vegetarian. So I first became a vegetarian when I was 16, quite a few years ago. And over those years, I've fluctuated from a vegetarian to a pescatarian to a vegan to a vegetarian, and so on and so forth over the course of the years and the decades. To my shame, 0 consistency. But right now, during the 1 year fast, I'm making a concerted effort to be vegetarian. Remain vegetarian during the course of the 1 year fast. And in fact, most of the time before the 1 year fast, certainly maybe 1 or 2 years before, I was pretty reasonably consistent with being a vegetarian. Now that leads to the question of, well, why? Why, Alfie? Why are you a vegetarian? Why would you want to be vegetarian? And I guess firstly, but not foremostly, I believe it's a good diet. So it's a healthy diet. I think most medical professionals will agree that a vegetarian diet is healthy. There might be some contention around that, but I believe there's a certain consensus that says vegetarian diet, healthy diet. So that's first reason. Again, not the foremost reason in my mind. And again, I'm just sharing a point of view. I'm not here to preach to anybody, but just share my point of view. And a part of the 1 year fast and a part of these videos is for me to chronicle my state of mind during the course of the 1 year fast, for a reference point. So I can come back and say, okay, on that particular day I was doing X or doing Y, and we can potentially use that as a data point to measure mental, psychological, emotional health. So again, that's the point of these videos, and I want to share some of my point of view. And my point of view is that a vegetarian diet, some people might argue a vegan diet, is more consistent with a healthy society. When we think about what's involved in a non-vegan, non-vegetarian diet, essentially, when we think about factory farming and butchery, the question does arise, is that compatible with a healthy society? And it could probably be taken even further. There could be a fair argument, and again, this is my point of view, that says, look, as long as you are subjugating and butchering the most vulnerable within your society, and let's face it, all beings are within our society, then is that society healthy? Or does that society need to be further evolved to get to a place where it can be healthy? And I would say most likely the latter. We need to be thinking in terms of any creature that is vulnerable, we should not take advantage of that creature. Indeed, that human. If somebody is vulnerable, we shouldn't take advantage of them. We should try to help them. And so that is a big motivating factor in me wanting to be vegetarian. And again, not preaching, not trying to be holier than thou, just sharing my point of view. And it's a sincere point of view. I genuinely believe that we need to consider those vulnerable beings, creatures, humans within our society and help them rather than take advantage or subjugate them. And that is the foremost reason for me being a vegetarian. And again, definitely not preaching to anybody, just sharing my point of view, and completely accept there are counterpoints of view to that. So I'm undertaking the 1 year fast. Again, loads of motivation, but definitely very, very instilled in the fact that I want to go from day 1 to day 365 as a vegetarian, and all the measurements, physical, mental, will be prefaced on the fact that I am a vegetarian, and have been quite often throughout my life. Again, world's worst vegetarian, up and down over the place. Vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian, vegetarian. So I'm not a good role model for anybody. In fact, I'm a disastrous role model. There's a whole host of wonderful people out there that could be true